Hi, I'm here today with Judy Boyle, Val Hickey, and Mary Leach from the Neighbor Brigade. You're involved in Northborough and Southborough, but Neighbor Brigades all over Massachusetts and other states. Right? So thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, what is Neighbor Brigade? Tell everybody what Neighbor Brigade really does and is. And
I think it's easiest if we read the mission. We have that right here. And then fill in the blanks. We are a nonprofit organization, and I think our mission statement says it all.
Yeah, so basically, Neighbor Brigade is an organization that if you're currently experiencing a crisis due to acute illness, accident, injury, or another tragedy, our networks of community volunteers can provide temporary free assistance with some of your day-to-day needs. And those needs primarily are meals, so we deliver meals, we do dog walking, errands, grocery shopping, rides to medical appointments, but 45% of our needs are with meals being delivered.
okay, and people who are receiving the meals are people who are ill or people who are homebound? Who, if you had to, with a broad brush, describe who it is that you're helping, who are the people who are able to get services and help from you?
Great question. So it's either the patient, whoever is either ill or had an accident or is recovering from surgery, or oftentimes, and probably most of the time, it's their family members. So the idea is to let the patient focus on recovery, and we can help focus on taking care of the family's needs.
Okay, okay. And Neighbor Brigade's been around for about 17 years, is that right?
So 17 years, the concept of delivering meals, helping neighbors, but it originally started, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to talk about how Neighbor Brigade was born.
Sure.
But it was originally the Wayland Angels back in 2003, 2004. And we've had a couple of different names over the years. And
okay.
as of about 2010, we're Neighbor Brigade.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really is neighbors helping neighbors.
Exactly.
Which is such a neat concept. And doing the types of things that maybe nonprofits don't often have the resources to do when you're collaborating with other nonprofits, hospitals. Where do you get
Absolutely.
referrals from?
Senior centers, hospitals.
Churches, schools.
We do a lot of our own promotion on Facebook. That's how we found you.
Yes, yep.
We have a Facebook page. And again, Mary, Val, and I co-lead the Northborough Southborough chapter. But again, as you mentioned, Matt, there's the goal is to put one chapter in every single community across the country, in every country.
We're growing.
We are definitely growing.
Which is so important now, where people, I think, are getting more isolated, if that's possible. With the explosion of social media, you would think the opposite. But social media often leads to more isolation and people not going out and doing positive, healthy types of things. So you're able to fill that gap with the things that appear simple but are really important. I mean, getting a meal, getting to and from a doctor's appointment, those are things that I think are really important. So you're collaborating with hospitals, you get involved with other nonprofits, and they're getting you referrals. That's okay.
Yeah, a lot of just word of mouth. I heard that this exists in this town. I'm hoping you have this in our town, which is what we were talking about earlier. A lot of the neighboring communities do not have a Neighbor Brigade, so it would be wonderful to see them open chapters, which is not a difficult thing to.
And you all would be able to help them perhaps do that.
And the organization as a whole, we've got an awesome central office that helps you every step of the way. It's super easy. If I even put in 5 hours of time every week toward being a chapter leader, that's all it takes. And the impact that we have on these families is immeasurable. I mean, the handwritten notes we get, the phone calls that we get, children who went out to a cooler filled with food from people they've never met and may never meet. Will remember that. We've listened to now adults that were children as recipients who have said that they will never forget that experience. Now they're opening chapters in the state themselves as adults, now having their own family. It's really cool.
I think, and churches, you were able to, you get referrals from churches and also volunteers who are belonging to churches. I would think this is one of those things that once you've done it and experienced seeing the appreciation from somebody, you're really kind of hooked on continuing to
Definitely.
volunteer. But that's a good point. The volunteer doesn't have to commit to an overwhelming number of hours per day, per week, per month, which is a fear for people. It keeps them from volunteering. So
Yeah, I think the best part of that is I started on as a volunteer, and I would get the emails with needs, and you can sign up as you have availability. So I would look at the needs, and if I was available to do a day or bring a meal, I would sign up for that. So it's not a huge commitment as a volunteer. You can look and look at your schedule and commit based on what you have available.
well, that's an interesting process, so that in whatever community you're volunteering in, there's an email sent, and here's what our current needs are, and then you can sort of pick that based on your schedule.
Yeah, so it's very flexible, which I think is wonderful.
I think that's real important, because I do, having spent a lot of years in nonprofit management myself, that becomes a real obstacle
Yeah,
for people
absolutely.
to volunteer, because it's like, oh, I'm going to get hooked into doing 15 hours a week, and I don't have that at all. But it's not that kind of
No,
organization.
very flexible, which is nice.
Great.
And could I piggyback on
Sure.
on what Val was saying? So Mary and I are the old veterans in the Northborough Southborough chapter, and we started when our kids were little. And I know I got into volunteering, whether it was coaching or neighbor brigade. One, because it felt good, and it was a good way, to meet people, and the people I met when I was a young mother, volunteering. Those friends are my best friends today. And Val is, she has three beautiful little girls back home, and I think anybody who's been a parent knows that she's got her hands full. And when she involves her kids, and it reminds me of when I was a young mother preparing meals with my kids, and they'd be like, "Why are you making all this food?" And I'm like, "Well, we're going to deliver it to a family who needs our help." And my kids would say, "Well, why are we giving food to perfect strangers?" And we said, because they need our help. And so they would share, my kids would share in the whole process of preparing the meal, packaging it up, putting it in the car, delivering it, leaving it anonymously. And we can talk about that practice.
Sure.
If
I'd like to.
if you feel on how the neighbor brigade is different from other meal train type of nonprofits or volunteer organizations. But and then my kids, would deliver the meal. And Val, she is wonderful about posting on our website pictures of her little girls like running up and putting the food in the
that's
coolers.
great.
Really sweet.
Talk about, she turns it into something that is adding positive, teaching your children a lesson. So it's not just like, we never want anyone to feel like, this is a burden to them, but if there's a way that you can turn it into something that becomes like a family event, or like we're friends, we run the chapter together.
And this is how we met, through Wayland Angels.
Absolutely. And so Val, we're just so excited to have her bring some new, some
New
Ideas
energy.
and
new
energy.
energy,
Ideas
new
and
breath
energy.
into our chapter.
Sure.
And we're growing, and we're just so excited.
That's right. I think that's a great thing. It's a great life lesson and something to do together with your family. Tell me about, I'm intrigued now by the anonymous leaving the dinner or whatever.
So Matt, all of our volunteers do go through pre-screening. It's pretty basic. It's you're asked to answer some basic questions, provide a few references. It's not applying for a job or applying for your new license. The real ID
sure.
that I just had to get myself. It's everybody gets accepted. It's just that it keeps out because you are going to somebody's home, and we want our recipients to feel comfortable with somebody, leaving a meal that, we kind of know who these people are.
Sure.
We've checked them out, and for the most part, they are people in your community. So there are situations where somebody were going in, one of our volunteers were being asked to go into a home, do some light house cleaning, certainly provide rides. Those volunteers would have to go through a query check.
Sure.
But it's a very organized organization. Again, we have a website like Val was mentioning. You can apply online, and then you can, it pretty much becomes automated from there. When we have a new request from a community member, we take the information. Val, Mary, and I, or any one of us at any time, talk to the family in need or the individual in need, work out all the details. What time would you like to have your meal delivered? Do you have any dietary restrictions? So when the information is uploaded into our website, our volunteers, they know exactly what we're asking them to do. No fish for this, for this family.
Sure.
Provided in a disposable, microwavable container, so the family doesn't need to worry about washing dishes or returning the dishes. And then there's a cooler set up at the house, so the recipient knows to check that cooler on the days when they're expecting a meal to be delivered. And the volunteer, all they have to do is package it up and deposit it.
Oh, that's neat.
And go on their
that's
way.
neat. That's
So it's really, and that we keep referencing meals preparation, and like Mary said, that's the majority of the
What you
services
do.
we provide.
We only have a minute or two left. I know you have an event coming up in the fall.
I do.
And in October, I believe, and it's a fundraiser for the organization. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yep, so it's in October. You can check the website for the exact date. It's a Sunday morning, and it's a 5K, 10K run or walk if you prefer to walk.
Okay.
Pets are welcome, and it is probably our biggest fundraiser now for the organization. Very, very well organized and very well attended. So
Oh, that's great.
casual runners, serious runners, it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And you're
And it's in
always
Wayland,
looking,
by the way.
I'm sorry?
It's held in Wayland.
Oh, okay. So that's
Our hometown.
middle of the state kind
Yeah.
of thing, and reflects back to the beginnings of the organization. So that's, and somebody who's interested in volunteering.
NeighborBrigade.org. They can keep digging if they want to reach one of us. We're there. They can send a general inquiry. But if anybody's interested in any regard, you will be supported in as much as you need to be.
Okay. And that goes for any community in Massachusetts. They can put in their community, they'll get connected with somebody.
Yeah.
We're in 5 states now, so we're
Oh, well,
expanding
that's-
beyond our borders. So New Hampshire, Connecticut, I think maybe even New York. So we're out there. Maine, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Washington State, and lots in Massachusetts. So.
That's great. So anybody who's interested, it's a great social activity as well as a real help to your neighbors.
Sure, we do a lot of different outreach things throughout the year, through backpack drives and things like that, and it's really just bringing about community together,
that's
in such a positive way. And like you said, it gets people out and making a difference.
Sure.
That's why we do it, and it
Feels good.
It
that's
feels
great.
good,
Yeah, it feels
and
good.
that's.
Well, thank you all for coming and
No.
sharing this great information about this terrific organization with us. And if you have an interest, go to the website. And we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Suzanne Morelli Lieber, and today we're here with Stacy Levine, and she's going to be talking about Wish Wizard.
I am. So, Suzanne, thank you so much for having us on the show today. We really appreciate it. I'm with the Foundation for Autism Acceptance Worldwide. And as you said, Wish Wizard is our signature program. And we're really, really excited for this. We were able to do this last year. And this year, we just want to do it a little bit bigger and a little bit better and include even more people. So for those who don't know, the Foundation for Autism Acceptance Worldwide started for my son, Jagger Lavely, who was actually in the Oaks Got Talent show, variety show, and this was 3 years ago in 2016.
Yeah.
And they only had a couple of practices, weather and everything like that. You know, we live in New England. And it was so cool because all the kids, it was just like everyone was busy on their cell phones, doing their thing, whatever. They'd get up, they'd do their act, they'd go sit down. So that night, there was just like this synergy. Like everybody was just connecting, everybody was there for each other. And it's sort of funny because somebody was actually talking to another group and they're like, oh my God, you guys are going to steal the show and what have you. And it was one of those sobering moments as a mom with a kid with autism where I'm like, yeah, my kid isn't really going to be the standout. I mean, to me, he'll be the standout, but he really isn't going to be. But, you know, it was just sort of one of those moments. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, we'll just clap for everyone and have a great time. And he's going to get up and do it. He's not normally in the spotlight. So let's see what it looks like. And it was so cool because, of course, he got up. He did a great job. He did stumble on a couple of words. So, and everybody like sang with him and they clapped with him till he found his place. And it was just like so awe-inspiring. Just one of those moments that just touches your heart. And next thing I knew, Channel 5 had come in. They had done an interview on it. It went to the AP. It became this whole big international story.
Oh, my.
So in reality, he really did
great.
steal the show.
So that was the beginning.
So it was kind of amazing how it just kind of
Yeah.
flipped a little bit. It was during Autism Awareness Month. And I had always wanted to do something to give back, but I just never knew what it was. And that night for us, it was kind of like, this is what it is. It's like, we need to find a way to give back. And we're a little bit different from other autism nonprofits because we're really coming at it more from the other side where we're kind of looking more for the community to accept people with autism and, you know, make them part of the community and things like that. So that's sort of, you know, our slant as opposed to just doing things for people with autism. So we've kind of made the umbrella of Wish Wizard to encompass everybody. And what that looks like is in April for Autism Awareness Month, we actually grant wishes for people with autism.
Okay.
And then in the holiday season, we put out giving trees and we do donations and things like that. And we actually had a Wish Wizard Fest last year. And so we were able to grant the wishes. We called it the Festival of Wishes. And we were able to grant 125 people their wish. Plus we had a party
amazing.
over. Yeah, it was really incredible and just so heartwarming to see the kids. I mean, one of the kids, all he wanted was a bowling ball. And the people at Bolero stepped up and they gave him a ball and then they were going to drill the holes for him. So it was his personal ball. You know, Dean Park gave us pizzas for it. Bohemia gave us Chinese food. Dunkin' Donuts in Grafton gave us like a lot of coffee and hot chocolate and, you know, donuts. And Gerardo's bakery made a huge cake because the next day was Jagger's birthday. So they made a huge birthday cake for him and gave us like all kinds of cupcakes and stuff like that.
So it was a whole community
It was a whole
effort.
community. Wegmans had little sandwiches and, you know, different things like that. So it really just like, it just was a whole community just kind of underpinning this, you know, a festival. Unibank had jumped in, Citizens Bank in Shrewsbury, the Sugar Shack in Westboro. It's like an 18 to 22 program for Westboro schools. And it was just like, and like I said, Citizens Bank, Unibank, and there were a few others, Central One and Federal Credit Union did some advertising in the in our little brochure that we had. So I mean, it was just really cool to see everybody kind of come together. So this year,
let's talk about this year.
Sounds good. So what we want to do this year is we're still going to keep the wish part of it in there.
Okay.
But what we want to do is we want to do the Wizard's Ball. And so what we want to do is have a community inclusion kind of piece where anybody can come to it, whether you're neurotypical, whether you have a special need, LGBTQ, anything at all, young, old, doesn't matter. We want everybody there. We just want to have fun. So what we're doing right now is we're looking for a donation of a venue.
Exactly.
As well as, you know, food and drink and things like that for everybody.
So
and,
how
you know,
large a venue would you need?
the larger the better.
Something
We'd
that
really
can
love to see a lot of people be able to come. I mean, last year
At least
we did
200 to 300?
We did 210 in the library in that
Yes,
room.
okay.
And we were fortunate because it was over like a 3 or 4 24-hour period. So, I mean, the
Okay,
flow was
people came
good,
and went.
but we felt bad because it was loud. And I'm sure the
Yes.
library was kind of like, okay, this is a
Yeah.
little bit louder than we had anticipated. Chloe Belcito, who actually just won the Worcester's New Voice competition, she actually sang for it. And then
How
Jagger
wonderful.
sang Let It Go with her.
Oh my
So
goodness,
yeah, and of
how
course
exciting for him.
that was obviously, you know, the song that brought all this together.
Yeah.
So it was really cool as far as that went. So yeah, so we'd really like something a little bit bigger, and we're hoping Chloe will join us again, and maybe some other groups if they want to come in and, you know, do some, you know, music for the people who come, and it's
Yeah.
for anyone, any age, you know. Anything from probably 3 or 4 up till 92. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Good.
You know, we really wanted to be really open to
So
everyone.
how do people find out? Number one, how do they donate?
Yep.
Either a venue, or you're taking cash donations, or selling tickets. How do they do that?
Okay, what they're going to do is they can go to our Facebook page, which is Wish Wizard.
Okay.
And it's actually, if you have to plug it in, it's the @ Wish Wizards, because there was a movie, Wish
With an
Wizards.
S. Okay.
So we couldn't get it, but you'll probably actually just see the Wish Wizard logo come up.
Okay.
And they can go there, they can instant message us. The phone number is 617-645-7792. They can
Okay.
call us, and we're going to hopefully have the website up by then. It's going to be www.wishwizard.org.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so so they can do that way, and you know, we're really looking forward to those donations. Last year, a lot of things, you know, and just to kind of share a little bit, you know, it just kind of blew my mind a little bit because, of course, you know, I have a child who's, you know, younger. He's 17. He'll be 17 now, but he was 15, 16 at the time, and it was just sort of one of those moments like you don't realize how many people are actually affected by so many different special needs,
Absolutely,
because when we opened it up, it was like just a huge piece of it. And so many of the people who actually responded to us weren't just children, it was adults. And the thing is, you know,
Interesting.
there is a sense of, there is entitlement up to the age of 22. And the minute you turn 22, all those supports go away.
That's
You know,
sad.
for school, occupational therapy, speech therapy, this, that, and the other, and even like some of the different laws that have been written to help people with special needs, a lot of that falls off again once they turn 22. So the pool is very limited once you get to that point. So, I mean, there were people asking for slippers and robes
Oh, my.
and PJs and things like that, that you're just like, oh my God, like these are like the basic necessities for people. Winter coats, socks. I mean, the things that were coming in, it wasn't just the kid asking for, you know, like, you know, Fortnite, you know, gift card or
Right,
something,
right.
or Roblox or whoever. It was just really people really needing basic needs.
So that begs the question, if someone watching this would like to submit a wish,
Absolutely. Please,
They could
the
still
same,
call the phone
and
number?
we'll actually have those forms up on the website.
Okay,
We'll
good.
also have it at some of the schools locally, because we know not everybody has internet. You know, so we'll be reaching out to the special needs classrooms in different, you know, areas, getting them the actual slips, so then if they want to send that back through the
What a
schools.
great thing
yeah,
to do.
And then we're also going to have the giving trees, so we'll let everybody know on the website where all those giving trees are. We're
Yes.
assuming the same people will probably still be involved this year, which is Unibank in Shrewsbury, Citizens Bank at the Stop and Shop in Shrewsbury, Dunkin' Donuts on Route 140,
good.
and that's down in Grafton,
Yeah.
and then the Sugar Shack in Westboro, that's on Route 30, and then we're hoping to get a few more places that we can have the trees in too, or
Oh,
they can,
absolutely.
you know, give us a call and we can meet them anywhere to grab the stuff
so
and
just
what have you.
anybody can help out.
Anybody can help. Anybody can ask for a wish if they, you know, do have a special need.
Yes.
And again, the ball is going to be so crucial, because we're just looking forward to seeing everybody connect. I mean, we really want that ball to really hold up a mirror to that ball, and we want to see society and the community in that. That's what we're looking for ultimately, is just people with special needs, people without special needs, people who
Absolutely.
identify differently, different races, different creeds, different religions. I mean, we just want everyone to come
inclusive-
together.
inclusivity.
Yeah, it just really no more exclusion, just inclusion.
And you had said something about having it after the holidays.
Yeah, we're planning on
In a
having it
less
at the beginning
busy
of
time.
January.
Yes.
Yeah, so people can be done with all their travel. Nobody
Absolutely.
has to worry about it because we ran into that last year where we
Yeah.
had it on
Yeah.
the 29th. And it was a situation where we were just like,
It's a difficult time.
everybody was just like, oh, I'm going to here and I'm going to there. And we're just like, you know what, let's do it after the holidays when everything settles down, crossing our
Yes.
fingers for no snow. And
Exactly.
hopefully, we'll be able to pull this off and just have as many people as we can just to really enjoy just being with each other and helping each other and just being part of just a big acceptance community.
Absolutely. And I love the inclusivity. I love the community involvement
Absolutely.
that it, it takes a village.
Exactly. And we need volunteers too. I don't
Exactly.
know
And
if we
need
mentioned
volunteers.
that. Lots of volunteers.
We need volunteers.
Yep.
We need donations.
Yep.
We need
A venue.
a venue
Yep.
to see where where
Yeah.
we can host this. It'd be really, there's
Amazing.
no restrictions as to where the venue is there?
As long as we have
Locally?
some ADA compliance, that would just
Absolutely.
be the most important
Yes. Mm-hmm.
piece for us. That if a person is a wheelchair or walker, things like that, that's really going to be a critical piece for that. Parking would be
What about
fabulous.
location?
Yeah,
Community?
like in this general, in the Worcester area would be great. Just
Okay.
because, it'll be easy for, we kind of want a central place that people can get to, and especially where that's kind of on, bus lines and things like that
Sure.
might be helpful. I mean,
Sure.
I'm not sure, depending on the night of the week it ends up being.
Yeah.
Or if we're doing it during the day, we're kind of, we're really flexible and open
Flexible.
to that. We just really would like this to this year, just be able to kind of, ramp up to that next level.
I think it's such a phenomenal program.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm going to like Wish Wizard on Facebook.
Yay!
And then this way you can. And can you tell them once more how to get in touch with you and get more
Absolutely.
information on it?
Absolutely. My name is Stacy Levine Lavely. It's Wish Wizard. So either the website is www.wishwizard.org. The Facebook page is @WishWizards, or you can just start typing Wish Wizard on Facebook and you'll see a picture that's a Wish Wizard and it has a blue wizard going like this, pointing with his
Okay.
wand, because
Blue.
what did they say in Harry Potter? The wand chooses a wizard, and
Absolutely,
apparently
the
that
wand.
was Jagger.
That's true.
And he will be dressed up like the wizard.
Oh, great.
And then you can call 617-645-7792.
Okay. Is there anything else that we didn't cover, Stacy?
No, I
Okay,
think
good.
we're all set.
That's
We were
it,
just
okay.
really excited to talk about this, just kind of get the word out that we're going to be doing it again this year. We'd like to grant even more wishes if we can. And then, like I said,
Yes.
just adding more people into this and just really, kind of ramping it up to the next level, really kind of starting to put the tapestry sew together. And I think that's a really important piece of it, is really just everybody's kind of a little mosaic in this, a little tile.
Absolutely.
And then when you kind of step back, you see an overall picture. And I think
Exactly.
that's what we really
That's
want to see at the end of the day, is just a picture of community and people helping each other, supporting each other, and loving each other.
And I'm sure that the families of the disabled people are really looking forward to this, really, because
Absolutely.
you need help, more help.
Yeah,
But
and-
I would like to
and-
thank you.
I was going to say, and then just the amount of the opportunities once they get a little bit older is really, really hard.
Yeah.
So, at 16, they kind of start to wean away. Like you're in
Yeah.
Special Olympics at an older age. Now you're, here, and a lot of these things. If
Yeah.
you don't fit into the little kid category and you really
Right.
don't fit into the older kid, it really doesn't work. So something like this at least lets everybody come together.
Well, I'm looking forward to
Yay.
it. And thank you very much, Stacy.
Thank you for having me. I
And thank
appreciate
you
it.
all for watching.